Hey coach, how do I get out of a choke? Don't get in it. One of the most common questions that you're going to find in a martial arts class or in a self-defense seminar is, how do I get out of X situation? And the real question you should be asking is not how do I get out of X situation, but how do I avoid being in X situation to begin with? And there's three main reasons for that. Number one, it's easier to avoid being in a situation than it is having to fight your way out of it. It's easier for me to walk away from a fight than to try and stay and fight the person that's trying to pick a fight with me. It's easier for me to stay along the lighted streets on the way home rather than taking a shortcut home through the park where there's a chance that somebody could be lurking there and I have to defend myself against them. It's easier to stick with a ride that I know and trust or take a cab than jump into a car with somebody I don't know whose intentions could be good or ill. Number two, you'll need to practice under the conditions that you're going to be performing under. One of my favorite sayings is 1,000 times good and 10,000 times champion. So in order to be good at something, you're going to need to do it 1,000 times. In order to be really good at it, you're going to need to do it 10,000 times. Unless you're willing to put in that type of practice on your self-defense techniques, you're probably better off trying to avoid the situation in the first place. Now, in some martial arts, judo, jiu-jitsu, wrestling, boxing, for example, people practice the way they play for the sport that they're doing specifically. They're not doing it in a street type situation. Even in MMA class, you may be used to punching, kicking, grappling, everything thrown in there. You're not used to multiple opponents if necessary, and you're not used to somebody bringing a weapon to the fight. Three, you're much safer avoiding a physical confrontation. Now, you might be very good at what you do, whether you're a striker or a grappler, but everybody makes mistakes when they're training. In your training in the club, it doesn't make that big a difference. When you're on the street, it could make the difference between you being seriously hurt or walking away from a confrontation. Things happen all the time. People can get a lucky punch in. You could slip, hit your head on the concrete as you're fighting. You could knock out your opponent by accident and kill them. Then you'd be in trouble legally. So it's important to try and stay safe by just avoiding a physical confrontation whenever possible. A street fight. Something has upset this person. Whether it's something you did or not, a lot of times alcohol's involved in this type of situation. What I'm going to do is have my hands up away from me. I want to create distance from my opponent. Palms out, defensive gesture. I'm going to look at them and just say nice and calmly, hey, relax, man. I don't want any trouble. If I did something, I'm sorry. What can we do to make this better? I want to calm down the person and de-escalate the situation. Road rage. I think this has happened to just about everybody at some point. You've done something that's pissed off the person that's driving either beside you or behind you, and they're giving you the finger, they cut out in front of you and swerve in front of you to cut you off. And a lot of times people get upset about it and they're like, oh, I'm going to get back at that guy, and they start trying to get around in front of him and cut him off again. Don't worry about it. It is not worth the aggravation. You're just going to get in an accident. Much better to stay safe. Back off, let them get away from you. You're much safer that way. A robbery. Somebody's either boxed you in somewhere or they've pulled out a weapon on you. They're asking you for your phone, for your wallet. Take it out of your pocket and give it to them. There is nothing in there that is so important that it's worth more than your life. Walking home at night. You're going to want to stick to well-lit, populated areas. If you think somebody's following you, do not go into an area that is not well lit and populated. Stop off at a coffee shop somewhere. Wait until you can either arrange for a ride home or somebody to meet you there that can walk you home at the same time. Other things that you can do, make sure you're not listening to your earphones. Take them out so you can pay attention to what's going on around you. You'll be able to keep yourself much safer by paying attention to your surroundings than you will be by listening to music. Date rape. Always arrange to meet your first date at a public destination. Don't decide to go on a nature walk or have them pick you up where they can take you where they want to afterwards. It's not going to happen often, but it does happen. Just a few tips to keep you safe. Sexual assault. Contrary to popular belief, most sexual assaults do not take place with somebody jumping out of the bushes and grabbing you. According to Stats Canada, over 50% of sexual assaults are caused by somebody that is known to the victim. So what can you do to keep yourself safe in that situation? If you start to feel uncomfortable, things just don't feel right, make an excuse to leave, to get out of the place. Phone somebody that you can trust that can come and be with you. Are there any other situations you can think of where you might need to defend yourself? If so, leave a comment below. I'll be happy to address it. So, practicing the way you need to perform. A lot of times I'll see people in self-defense classes or self-defense seminars, and they're with their friends, they'll come up, they'll be working on, say, a front choke. They come up here and they put their hands on, and their partner does the escape, and then it's their turn, they do it, and their partner just grabs them lightly. We need to be practicing as if this was really happening, and when your adrenaline's flowing, it's gonna make a big difference in how you react. So, what I wanna do to start when I'm practicing any technique, I'm gonna take the choke slightly, just lightly to start, and my partner will do it. And then I'll go a little bit harder, and then a little bit harder. And what I want to get to is the point where my partner is able to defend when I'm coming full bore and really trying to apply that choke to them.